If you're a multifamily investor here in Southern California, I have the one type of multifamily investment that is not subject to rent control. You heard right, no rent control. And it has nothing to do with the age of the property or the city it's located and a special ordinance. This is a type of multifamily product, again, not subject to rent control. To learn more, stay tuned. Hi, this is Kris German. Welcome back to the Apartment Dealer Show. Today, we're going to discuss student housing. It's the one form of multifamily housing, because you're utilizing a multifamily property, that is not subject to rent control because your tenant essentially is turning over maybe once a quarter. That's a quarter per college year, a semester. Maybe they stay for a year, 2 years. Nonetheless, the idea here is that when I say not subject to rent control, is given the timeliness of the tenant turnover, your rental rates always stay at market. That is a bonus. It's a win-win when it comes to multifamily properties. If you own in LA County unincorporated, that's 4% and dwindling. So the idea here is staying at market rent. But today we're going to do something a little bit different. It won't be me that you'll be hearing from. It'll actually be my partner, my teammate, Alex Lin. Now, you've heard me if you've been following our channel for some time that we're a team, the Apartment Dealer team, and yet it's only Kris German that you've seen up until now. Well, I'm going to bring in Alex. Now, Alex has been a real estate broker for the past 6 years. Actually joined our team over a year ago. He originally was in Northern California in the Bay Area, worked for another brokerage company selling commercial real estate, and now transplanted himself down here to Southern California and joined our team again a little over a year ago. Specializes in multifamily sales like I do, the rest of my teammates, but was more knowledgeable when it came to student housing. And so when the opportunity came to us to list a property that was student housing near USC, Alex and I wanted to take this opportunity to educate all our viewers, all our clients about student housing. What are the pros? What are the cons? We're going to give it a fair shake here. We're not going to oversell it. We're going to share with you some of the downsides. Every type of investment vehicle does have downsides. But for many of you, though, maybe you've seen listings, you received postcards, you've received marketing for properties that are marketed as student housing, and maybe you just shied away from it because you don't have an understanding of the product type, don't have any experience with it. Maybe you have a negative connotation of college students and frat boys and that sort of thing. We're going to clear the air here. We're going to set the record straight and talk facts. What is student housing? What are the pros? What are the cons? Alex is going to help us walk through that. Now, let's join him.
Hi, my name is Alex Lin, and if you don't know me, I'm part of the Apartment Dealer team, and I specialize in multifamily investment sales in the Los Angeles County. Today, we're diving into a niche market that you may be unfamiliar with, student housing, and specifically USC student housing. USC student housing is one of the more popular investment opportunities in the area due to its continuously high demand. And in this video, we'll explore how student housing differs from regular multifamily properties and why it might be an intriguing investment opportunity for you. By the end of this video, you'll have a solid understanding of another multifamily investment option that could align better with your goals and needs. So, what is student housing? Let's start with the basics. The reality is, student housing can be whatever the investor chooses it to be, but the key thing that differentiates itself from other investment vehicles is that it caters and targets students specifically. This market has a different dynamic compared to traditional multifamily properties. With USC's large international and non-local student population, the demand for nearby housing is consistent and steady. So, let's go over the pros and cons of USC student housing. Let's talk about why this investment stands out. First is the limited impact from rent control. If you own in Los Angeles City, your property is most likely subject to the rent stabilization ordinance. RSO limits your allowable rent increases and protects tenants from different types of evictions. If you remember, just last month in November, we voted on Prop 33, introducing vacancy control in California. Although it didn't pass, This would have limited your ability to raise rents based on your last tenant's rent before they vacated. However, a law like this wouldn't affect student housing as much because of the semesterly or yearly turnover. So you're able to adjust rents to align with or even exceed market rates. In other words, student housing avoids the challenges of capped rental income, long-term evictions, and future rent control measures that can limit your ability to maximize your income. Secondly, student housing is a supply-constrained market. No matter where we are in the economy, students will always need housing close to campus. Student housing has historically shown low vacancy rates even when rental prices increase. It's also an essential need for non-local and international students. As a globally renowned private university, USC attracts students from all over the world. These students need to make a decision to go dorm or go off campus. For them, dorming has little to no risk for the students. It's close in proximity to everything on campus, has support from the faculty, and is generally more straightforward. However, on the other hand, off-campus housing offers much more freedom, and it's often the student's first real taste of adulthood. Lastly, the properties of USC student housing see a number of exclusive benefits. One of the most significant benefits is that those that are located within the USC Patrol Zone, this is the area that surrounds USC's University Park campus. They have security 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Those properties benefit greatly from the protection, since this area has historically higher crime rates. Another benefit, well, this one pertains actually to all of student housing, not just exclusive to USC, is that the tenant leases have a guarantor. Usually a parent or guardian will have to sign off on the lease, which keeps them on the hook if something goes wrong. There's typically less risk of a non-payment or eviction, since now the guarantor has become liable, which can greatly affect their credit score. And of course, no investment is perfect. Let's go over some of the potential drawbacks and why it might not be for you. First is the frequent turnover and increased upkeep and maintenance costs. This is not a passive investment vehicle. To be competitive with the rest of the market, you'll need to find new tenants every semester or year, which requires more hands-on management. And with the higher tenant density, sometimes 3, 4, or even 5 students in a single unit, you can expect more wear and tear. After all, these are just 19, 20, 21-year-olds just starting out on their own, so you'll also need to budget for higher maintenance costs. Secondly, there is limited upside. Since you're already collecting rents close to market rate, there isn't as much room for growth compared to if you were to buy a property with low rents with the chance to increase income, say 40 or 50%. And lastly, there is a higher cost of entry. Because of the higher rents student housing can achieve, these price per unit and price per square foot is much greater compared to regular multifamily properties in the same area. This tends to scare off a lot of investors who are unfamiliar with the product type, as it can be daunting at first glance. So, who is USC student housing right for? This type of investment is ideal for someone looking to own a safe premier asset in a market with consistent demand. If you're currently managing properties in rent-controlled locations and want to escape all the restrictions and politics, but also don't want to look too far from the city of Los Angeles, student housing might be worth a closer look. Now, let's look at a real-life example. Kris and I actually have a student housing property listed near USC on Walton Avenue. It's located inside the USC Patrol Zone, just a few blocks north of campus. It's a total of 5 units, all 3-bed, 2-bath, with the front 4 units in one building and a detached single-family residence in the back. Traditionally, all you would really need to know is how many units and what's the unit mix. But as we discussed earlier, we will also need to analyze the number of bedrooms and bed count. This particular property has a total of 15 bedrooms and 19 beds. Each of the master bedrooms has their own bathroom and are large enough to count as doubles. With a double in every unit, we come to a total of 19 beds. The property's current gross income is approximately $13,900, which averages around $2,780 in gross income per each of the 3-bed, 2-bath units. Now the property is listed for $1,995,000, which is $399,000 per unit and $133,000 per bedroom. At first glance, investors may see that $399,000 per unit for a typical multifamily property in LA is on the higher end of the spectrum. But if you look at the financials, and after subtracting the new property tax, the new insurance, the utilities, maintenance, and your reserves, the property shows a cap rate close to 6.5%. Now, this is an amazing return on an investment from the day you close escrow. Now, The owner has actually left 2 of the units vacant for the purpose of the sale. And if you're interested and you'd like to set up a tour, give me or Kris a call and we'll make that happen. In conclusion, USC Student Housing offers a unique opportunity to invest in a reliable market with strong returns. Yes, there are challenges, but for the right investor, this asset type can be a game changer.
So there you have it, student housing in a nutshell. I hope that you found today's video informative. Hopefully you'll broaden your horizon. Maybe multifamily student housing would be something to add to your portfolio. If you found today's video informative, please give the video a like. If you have not subscribed to our channel as of yet, you're a new viewer, just came across us browsing YouTube, I highly suggest subscribe to our channel. We have hours and hours of content that we have scheduled for you come the new year, all geared towards multifamily investments, all geared towards helping you in the ownership, management, and the building of what I call your financial legacy in multifamily investment. Until next time, this is Kris German wishing you positive cash flow, tenants who behave, and much protection from Uncle Sam. Till next time.